Have you ever seen a Christmas sheep before? Like on a Pokemon card? Well, today I'm talking about Flaaffy, and Flaaffy might be the only Pokemon card that actually shows a Christmas tree and some presents in it. I have, what do we have? 6 Flaaffy cards here that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Flaaffy is one of my, I don't know, Pokemon that I like. Maybe not top 10, but I like the design. I like the colors. I like the personality that the Pokemon card has, and I like sheep, so this is definitely a win-win Pokemon for me. The first Flaaffy card I have is from 2000, so we're bringing it back again. This one, so Flaaffy is a stage 1. It evolves from a Reap, and it says put Flaaffy on the basic Pokemon. It has 60 HP. It's a lightning type. And the text under the image says wool Pokemon, length 2 feet 7 inches, weight 29 pounds. Wool Pokemon. Weird. I always thought that the type of Pokemon on the card was always like a weird descriptor. So this Flaaffy has 2 attacks. The first one is Discharge. It says discard all lightning energy cards attached to Flaaffy in order to use this attack. Flip a number of coins equal to the number of lightning energy cards you discarded. This attack does 30 damage times the number of heads. I mean, it also costs 1 lightning energy. So you can definitely gamble your attack away and hit some crazy damage, but I have definitely flipped an even amount of odds and heads in my time playing Pokemon. Like, you can never be that guy who only flips heads. And this attack just, you only use it when you're lucky. So yeah, I guess it'd be pretty good. You could 2-shot, 3-shot things. Or just get super lucky. But good luck. The second attack is called Electric Current for 2 lightning energy. It does 20 damage. It says take 1 lightning energy card attached to Flaaffy and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. If you have no bench Pokemon, discard that energy card. Dude, that's crazy. 20 damage, and if you have no bench Pokemon, you discard the energy from it? That's actually insane. I didn't know that it was just going to force you to do that. Its weakness is to fighting. It has no resistance and 1 retreat cost. It does have a flavor text on it. It says, as a result of storing too much electricity, it develops patches where even downy wool won't grow. Did I read that right? As a result of storing too much electricity, it develops patches where even downy wool won't grow. Downy wool. Someone's gonna have to explain to me what that what that means. Downy wool. Interesting. It says it's a level 26, and it is number 108 in the Pokedex. The illustrator is Ken Sugimori, and I love that Ken Sugimori art. It's just hand drawn, just the dude and his colored pencils or his paintbrushes, just drawing a Pokemon card. I always love that. Proxying is my game, so I get it. Now, to those who don't know exactly what Flaaffy looks like, it's a sheep Pokemon, so it looks like a sheep. It has kind of like sheep ears. It has a tail. It has some arms and legs, but this Flaaffy is a pink sheep, so it has pink skin, and then the wool on Flaaffy's head and around its neck, in it's like a really big patch of wool around its neck, is it's like a really light blue, which, yeah, it's like super light. It's almost white, but it has some blue in it. And then Flaaffy's ears look like cones, like thick cones, and they have black and pink stripes on them. It has a pink face, and then the tail on the Flaaffy is also black and white striped, and on the end of the tail there's like this electric magic ball. And on this card, the Flaaffy just has electricity coming out of it from like everywhere. It's kind of funny looking, and I definitely would not touch it. It honestly looks like cactus spikes with like the color and the height of them. So let's see. The flavor text doesn't really explain why that happens, but I imagine it's just like electricity, you know. So this Flaaffy is hand drawn. It looks like it was probably watercolored based on like the shading and how you can't see any like brush strokes in it. It has some thick line art, and it's just sitting in like, I think this has got to be computer generated, but the background is like a green mountain, and it has just like a kind of a basic. It honestly looks like a picture. What would you call it? Picturesque sky. Like, I think I've seen this sky before, and then some just 2000s generated green basic mountain behind it. So it's pretty generic, you know. If this is your first time like seeing Flaaffy, maybe when you were a kid, then you probably weren't amazed by this card. But if you like it, you like it. And I think it's cute. The second Flaaffy card I have is from 2002. This Flaaffy has 80 HP, so we're getting a bump up. It has 2 attacks. Headbutt for 2 colorless energy does 20 damage, and Thunderjolt for 2 lightning and a colorless. It says flip a coin. If heads, Flaaffy does 20 damage to itself, and that does 50 damage. It has a fighting weakness, no resistance, and 1 retreat cost. The attacks are alright. 50 for 3 seems like a little bit too much, but I guess if you're like in dire consequences, you could use it. The illustrator is Mitsushiro Arita. Ooh, I think I have quite a bit of Mitsushiro's cards. So this is the Christmas Flaaffy, and it looks so sweet. You have Flaaffy just sitting in a room. There's like this Christmas tree in the corner that is planted in like a white brick box, and then there is a green present and a red present with stars. The green present has some like orange bow stuff on it, and then I think this Christmas tree is being powered by the Flaaffy because there's a cord coming out behind that green box, and it's touching Flaaffy's electric magic ball, and there's like tons of sparks going from the ball to the cord, and that cord probably goes up to the Christmas tree, which is very festive, has green, red, yellow, blue lights on it, the Christmas balls and the pine cones. There's even some stars on it too. It's a pretty Christmas tree. And then the room that they're in, the walls have like clouds on them, so it's like, it definitely looks like a dim room based on the shadows that are only being cast are from the Christmas tree lights. And then the rest of the room's like kind of gray. But the Flaaffy is loving these Christmas lights. Its eyes are hooked onto the colors. It's looking straight into the center of the Christmas tree, and its mouth is open, almost like in awe. And it's super cute. I like it. The hair on the Flaaffy reminds me of a cinnamon bun, I think. It's a good one. Definitely, if you're a fan of Christmas, this is a card you would get. The next Flaaffy card I have is from 2007, so we're jumping a couple years. This Flaaffy is 80 HP. It has 2 attacks. Attract Current for a colorless energy, just 10 damage. It says search your deck for a lightning energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Shuffle your deck afterward. Then its second attack, Electromagnetic Kick, for 2 lightning and a colorless energy, does 60 damage. It says flip a coin. If tails, Flaaffy does 10 damage to itself. Now, the attacks aren't crazy at all. Attract Current is nice because it accelerates energy, and Electromagnetic Kick does more damage than the last Flaaffy and does less damage to itself, so pretty good. It does have a flavor text. It says, if its coat becomes fully charged with electricity, its tail lights up, it fires hair that zaps on impact. Whoa. Creepy. Reminds me of like a porcupine kind of thing. Fires hair that zaps on impact. Sounds dangerous. It has a fighting weakness of plus 20, a steel or metal resistance of minus 20, and 1 retreat cost. And then the illustrator is Kagemaru Himeno. Dude, I've heard of this artist too. I need to start like a list or something of the Pokemon cards I've looked at. Let's see. So this Flaaffy's got some character on it. It is posed in an action pose. It's on its right leg. And it's like leaning forward and splashing some water in front of it. There's a pretty lake on the left side of the card that the Flaaffy's splashing water with. And in the background, you can see trees and this gigantic mountain that pops up. And to the right side of the card, the like shoreline that Flaaffy's standing on is actually like very grassy and has some red flowers on it. And then there's also like a tall hill that's like dark green, probably trees, in the background as well. And then the sky is a pretty basic sky. It's not very vibrant. Like most of the colors on this card are muted a little bit, but it matches really well with like the lake. It's kind of the same color, which makes sense. And Flaaffy's like electro ball on the end is a lot more purple in this card too. And it's pretty. It's nice. It's always good to see some character from cards, and I'm starting to see that the Flaaffys like to have their mouth open. So this Flaaffy's mouth is open, and it's, smiling, enjoying its time. The next Flaaffy card I have has 90 HP. It has 2 attacks. Ram for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage, and Thundershock for 2 lightning and a colorless energy does 50 damage. It says, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That's pretty nice. Paralysis on a card, such a nasty special condition. I like it. Even though it's on a flip a coin, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It has fighting weakness of times 2, metal resistance of minus 20, and 2 retreat cost. So getting a little thicker than the previous Flaaffys. The artist is Maho, which is one of the artists that I've actually collected in the past because of the style. Maho's style is really like thick lines. The shadows are very sharp, and the colors on the card are super contrasty, so they pop. And the picture of the Flaaffy that Maho created has it walking down a dirt path from the forest, and it is almost like it's marching while singing the song. It has its right hand up, its left leg kicked up, and it's just walking along, and its mouth is open as much as it can be, and it looks cheerful. So I imagine that this Flaaffy is just following the path, singing its song, and just chilling, because it looks like a pretty day. The sky is clear, there are rays of sunlight, and there's some pretty white flowers on either side of the path, followed by a tree line. All in all, I love the colors that Maho used. The black on the Flaaffy, like the black stripes, they're more of a brownish, which makes the colors like blend more. It's a lot like easier on the eyes. The pinks that I used aren't like super crazy, but they're not washed out, so it's like a strong pink. And then in the art, the Flaaffy has just the sunlight glistening in its eyes, and it's really pretty. I like it. Maho's a good artist, and I appreciate a good card from them. The next Flaaffy I have is from 2019. It has 90 HP, 2 attacks. Electric Punch for 1 lightning does 30 damage, and Shock Bolt for 2 lightning doing 60 damage. And it says discard all lightning energy from this Pokemon. Now we're seeing some higher damage, There is a drawback of discarding the lightning energy, so you can't continuously do it, but I think at this point, Pokemon with 90 HP were just getting one shot, so. It has a fighting weakness of ×2, a metal resistance of -20, and 2 retreat cost. And the illustrator is Shibuzo. And the art is really cute. It gives me Candyland vibes. It looks like the technique that they used is almost like a dotting technique. So everything is very soft. There's no crazy like definition between like the legs or Flaaffy's collar. Everything blends very well. And the colors are nice and soft. The pink isn't like a hyper crazy pink. The shading is nice and soft. And the Flaaffy is just chilling. He's just walking through a flower field. You've got yellow flowers, dandelions. It looks like a marigold, tulips. And then there's lavender in the background as well. And the clouds are really pretty. They're just nice, fluffy, soft clouds. And there are some dandelion seeds flowing in the wind. It's cute. If you're into like cute, soft, cuddly Pokemon, I would definitely recommend this Flaaffy card. The last Flaaffy card I have is from 2022, and this is the like art rare or like trainer gallery art. So in this Flaaffy card, it actually has the trainer called Elisu. I think that's her name. I think she's from XY. Get the card out. Now this is a holographic card, so everything but the Pokemon and the trainer are hollow, except for their eyes. So I can give Flaaffy bright red eyes, and the trainer like demon eyes, which is just great. So this Flaaffy has 90 HP and has an ability called Dynamotor. It says once during your turn, you may attach a lightning energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And one attack, Electro Ball, for 2 lightning and a colorless, does 50 damage. Now, I remember when this card released and when it saw play, and what an amazing card. Goodness, dude. Dynamotor is actually a reprint from the, I think it's called Electrike card, which is also a Maho illustrated card. So it has the same Dynamotor attack. I think it has the same attack, Electro Ball, as well. It's weak. Both of them are weak to fighting for ×2 and have 2 retreat cost. And if you once you can attach more than one energy a turn, you already have something coming. You're going to build or find a partner for the Dynamotor somewhere. And this had plenty of partners. Miraidon EX was heavily played with Flaaffy. I've even seen 3 Flaaffy in Miraidon EX, even though I know people usually just play 2. But when this card rotated from our rotation, Miraidon EX just does not see play anymore. Because Dynamotor was so busted and was the engine of this deck, now that they can't play it, the deck is gone. So Dynamotor is definitely something that if we see reprinted, Lightning is going to see a lot more play just because of how good it is. The illustrator on this card is Saino Misaki. And goodness, dude, I had to pick this up for my collection. It is such a pretty card. It shows Flaaffy standing next to Flaaffy's trainer, Elisu. Okay, I've been saying it wrong. It's Alyssa, that's what it is. That's the trainer that Flaaffy is sitting next to, or standing next to. So Flaaffy's standing next to Alyssa, and Alyssa has a brush in her hand. So she is just, brushing probably her hair, probably Flaaffy's hair, and just making them look all good. And you can kind of tell that she's actually brushed Flaaffy's hair because Flaaffy is pushing up on the collar and almost feeling how fluffy it is, and the hands kind of escape into the fluff, so you don't get to see the end of the hands, which is really nice. And one of the coolest parts about this card is the perspective that it's in is actually from over the shoulder of Alyssa, but looking into a mirror. So not only do you see a blurry image of Alyssa and a little bit of Flaaffy on the bottom left side, you actually see them double because of the mirror in more of a defined look. And it's just a trippy card. I don't see this much, maybe with mirror, pawn reflections, but I haven't seen anything with a mirror where you see double of the Pokemon. I think it's really cool. And Flaaffy and Alyssa are just chilling in what looks like maybe her bedroom or something. There's a desk and a lamp and a picture frame and a plant next to the mirror. So they're just chilling inside her room. And it's really cool. It shows that Flaaffy enjoys being groomed, probably enjoys more of that personal bond with her trainer. And I actually missed the flavor text. It says, it stores electricity and its fluffy fleece. If it stores up too much, it will start to go bald in those patches. Oh goodness. So maybe Alyssa is brushing Flaaffy so it doesn't go bald. Bro, imagine walking in the forest and you catch a bald Flaaffy. Bruh. That would be pretty rough, bruh. Yeah, it's a pretty card. I like it. Definitely a good one for any trainer gallery collections. I highly recommend. And those are the Flaaffy cards. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope that you'll let me know what kind of cards I should talk about in the next episode. Flaaffy's a pretty sweet Pokemon, definitely one of my favorites, and I also enjoy the Ampharos. I might do an episode on that, sometime in the future. Hope you enjoyed, and that you'll, listen to the next one. Peace.